Hello viewers, if you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. Also, click on the bell icon so that you get the latest information about the videos that are uploaded. Hello students, welcome back to the new video. In this video, we are going to continue chapter number 4, Metals and Non-Metals. In today's session, we will discuss the characteristics of metals and non-metals. First of all, let us discuss the characteristics of metals. The important characteristics of metals are as follows. Number 1. Metals are malleable and ductile elements which are good conductors of heat and electricity. See students, in the previous session we have learned what are malleable materials and what are ductile materials. So malleable means those materials which can be beaten to form thin sheets, and ductile means those materials which can be drawn into thin wires. So metals are malleable and ductile elements. What does it mean? We can beat them into thin sheets, and also we can draw the thin wire out of the metals. And also metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. That means metals allow the heat and electricity to pass through them easily. So they are known as good conductors of heat and electricity. The second point is metals are lustrous or shiny. So most of the metals are very shiny. This property of the metal is used, and hence we use the shiny metals like gold, silver, platinum, etc. for making the jewelry. Third point, metals are usually hard and strong. For example, aluminium, iron, copper, these are all very hard. We cannot bend or we cannot break it with our hand easily. So we can say that the metals are usually hard and strong. Number 4, they cannot be cut easily. We have seen that metals are very hard, so we cannot cut them easily. Number 5, all the metals are solids except mercury, which is a liquid metal at room temperature. Therefore, we have seen that metals are very hard. Usually the hard materials are solids in nature. So we can say that all the metals are solids at room temperature, but there is an exception, that is mercury. Mercury is a liquid metal. Number 6, metals have high melting points and boiling point. What does it mean? If we want to convert the solid metal into its liquid form or vapor form, it cannot be done at normal temperature. They convert only at very high temperature. So we can say that metals have high melting point and boiling points. Number 7, metals have high densities, which means they are heavy. Therefore, why metals are very heavy? Because of their high density, that is mass per unit volume. Point number 7. Metals are sonorous. It means that metals make a ringing sound when we strike them with a hard object. So, what is the seventh property? Metals are sonorous. Sonorous means if we strike any metal with a heavy object, we can get a ringing sound. That is the reason if we drop any metal plate or metal dish, anything made of metal on the floor, we can get a sound which is totally different from the other objects like a wood, or if we drop a wooden particle or wooden object on the ground, we do not get that type of sound. But if we drop a metal or if we strike a metal object with a heavy object, we can get a continuous ringing sound. Therefore, we can say that metals are sonorous. Now, some of the examples of metals are iron, copper, aluminium, zinc, silver, gold, platinum, chromium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, nickel, cobalt, tin, calcium, lead, cadmium, mercury, antimony, tungsten, manganese and uranium. See, these are all the examples of metals. Students, the name of these all elements and their symbols and their special arrangement, all this you are going to learn in standard 9 under the name Mendeleev's periodic table. So just now we are only learning the properties and classification as metals and non-metals, but the elements, their symbols and their arrangement in the periodic table, all this you are going to learn in standard 9. Out of 92 naturally occurring elements, 70 elements are metals. All these metals are solids except one metal, mercury, which is a liquid. So we have seen that everything in the world is made up of elements. And how many elements are at present known to us that are occurring naturally? We have seen that it is only 92. Out of these 92 naturally occurring elements, 70 elements are metals. And all these metals are solids, and there is only one exception. What is that? Mercury. Mercury is a liquid metal. Now we will discuss the characteristics of non-metals. The important characteristics of non-metals are as follows. Number 1. The non-metals are elements which are neither malleable nor ductile. They are brittle. See students, in the previous session I told you that metals and non-metals have opposite properties. So today we have seen that metals are malleable and ductile. But here we can see that non-metals are the elements which are neither malleable nor ductile. That means we cannot beat them into thin sheets or we cannot draw them into wire. But they are brittle. Brittle means these non-metals, they break very easily. Number 2. Non-metals do not conduct heat and electricity. So that is also opposite property of metals. Non-metals do not conduct heat and electricity. Number 3. Non-metals are not lustrous or shiny. They are dull in appearance. So non-metals are not shiny but they appear dull. Number 4. Solid non-metals are usually neither hard or strong. They can be cut easily. See, there are some non-metals which are in the solid form, but they are not very hard or strong like metals. They can be cut easily. Number 5. Non-metals can be solid, liquid or gases at the room temperature. See, we have seen that metals are mostly solids except one mercury. But here non-metals can be either solid, liquid or gases at the room temperature. That means non-metals can exist in all three states. Number 6. Non-metals have usually low melting points and boiling points. So we can convert or interchange the states of non-metals easily by heating at low temperatures. Number 7. Non-metals have low densities, which means they are light. Non-metals are having low density. That means they are light in weight. Point number 8. Non-metals are not sonorous, which means non-metals do not make a ringing sound when we strike them with a hard object. So if we take a non-metallic object and beat them with a heavy object or a hard object, then also we do not get the ringing sound. So what we can say, non-metals are not sonorous. Some of the examples of non-metals are carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, helium, neon, argon, krypton and xenon. So these are the examples of non-metals which you will find in the Mendeleev's periodic table in a particular row or column. Of the 92 naturally occurring elements, 22 elements are nonmetals. Out of this, 10 nonmetals are solids. One nonmetal, that is bromine, is a liquid, whereas the remaining 11 nonmetals are gases. So we have seen that out of 92 naturally occurring elements, 70 are metals. The remaining 22 elements are nonmetals. Out of this, 10 nonmetals are solids. One is a liquid. What is the name of that? It is bromine. Whereas the remaining 11 nonmetals are gases. Now I would like to introduce another term, metalloids. Let us see what are metalloids. There are some elements which show some properties of metals and other properties of nonmetals. The elements whose properties are intermediate between those of metals and nonmetals are known as metalloids. See students, in the beginning I told you that elements are classified as metals and nonmetals. But when we study further, we can see that there are some elements which show the properties of metals as well as non-metal. That is, some properties are of metals and other properties are of non-metals. So we can say them as metalloids. So what are metalloids? Metalloids are the elements whose properties are intermediate between those of metals and non-metals are known as metalloids. So this group is coming in between the metals and non-metals. For example, metals are good conductors of electricity, whereas non-metals do not conduct electricity at all. But metalloids conduct electricity to a small extent. That means the metalloids show the properties of metals as well as non-metals. Metals are good conductors of electricity, whereas non-metals do not conduct electricity at all. But these metalloids conduct electricity to a small extent. Therefore, these metalloids are semiconductors. The examples of metalloids are silicon, germanium, arsenic, and tellurium. So these are the examples of metalloids which are also semiconductors. So students, I hope you have understood the topics very well. But still, if you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. I will surely try to solve it as early as possible. Here are some review questions. Please solve it in your notebook. Thank you.